Welcome to the coolest stuff on the planet.
Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. Yo estoy, that's not how you say that, but I'm Matt.
And yo soy Raquel.
Nice.
That's good. Mm-hmm. Welcome back to another edition of the coolest stuff on the planet. Today we are making a stop in a brand new country that we haven't visited yet in our virtual travels. We're heading to an interesting little city called Brussels.
Now you may ask yourself, what's interesting about Brussels? Well, there's all sorts of stuff, pal, okay? Mm-hmm. Why don't you hop on board and let's go through the Brussels train. Wait, through the train? We'd hop on the train and then go through Brussels.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do. For starters, guys, it's the capital of Belgium. Also, for seconders, it's the seat of the European Union, which means it's kind of like Washington, D.C., but for the European Union.
It's the capital of Europe.
Yes.
Basically. Also, fun little bit of trivia.
Yes.
It's also the birthplace of Jean-Claude Van Damme, famous movie and action star.
Famous guy who can do splits. He's a split doer.
I hadn't thought about that. But you've heard, like, his nickname is the Mussels from Brussels.
Oh, yeah. There's actually a movie that came out. It's about him as the actor retired in Brussels.
Oh, really?
And he ends up, that people think he robbed a bank, and then he ends up fighting off the bad guys. Everyone thinks he's the bad guy.
Oh.
It's awesome.
So it's like real and fake at the same time.
I had so much fun watching it.
The city has two official languages, Dutch and French.
Mm-hmm.
Although from what I've read, it sounds like French is more commonly spoken there. And it has a reputation as a really like a melting pot, a very international cosmopolitan city.
One of the big reasons they made it the seat of the European Union, I'm sure.
Makes sense.
Brussels is also famous for comic strips, which is something that a lot of people probably in the United States were not aware of. I know I wasn't as aware as I probably should have been.
No, I didn't. I didn't really think about it either.
Yeah, it's widely considered the comic strip capital of the world. Another capital. It's a triple capital. Oh my God, triple capital.
Oh no.
It's so beautiful. So the comic strip, as a form, an art form, the popularity rose sharply in Brussels as World War II was raging throughout Europe. And it kind of gave the people of Belgium, it's almost like TV is for us now. It gave them something to almost disassociate with, something to, like a fantastical world that they could go into.
Like escapism.
Yeah, an escape, exactly.
Oh, one of the famous Belgian comic strips, hugely famous, is Tintin, which my husband is actually obsessed with Tintin. I actually don't know too much about it, but he loves it. Also, the Smurfs are Belgian in origin.
Yes.
So that explains why they ate so much chocolate.
Casey actually said that there's going to be a trilogy of Tintin films coming out in the United States.
Yeah, he told me that. I think that's awesome.
Yikes.
Now we've gotten to my favorite part of the episode.
Yes,
because
the rest of the half of the paper.
Because I think my favorite thing about Brussels, and probably the number one with a bullet reason I want to go there, is that Brussels is a foodie city. Mm-hmm. It is perhaps a food lover's paradise, I think. Brussels it's famous for beer, chocolate, fries, mussels, you name it.
Oh, you had me on number one there. Beer in Brussels. Beer in Brussels. I'm going to try not to cry, Rachel.
Okay.
The beer is nothing short of heavenly.
Really?
Not only because it is de-frickin'-licious, but also because some of it is handcrafted by monks.
Really?
Yes, specifically Trappist monks, who are part of the Order of Cistercians of the Strict Observance.
Huh.
Yeah, very cool. I could do a whole podcast about this. It's all bottled, conditioned, just gorgeous beer.
So let's talk about fries, because we call fries French fries, right? Mm-hmm. But in fact, fries originated in Belgium.
They did.
And they're called frites. And they're one part of Brussels' most famous dish, which is mussels and fries. And you can think of that as kind of like a Belgian version of, we have our burger and our fries here. They have their mussels. And I don't mean like the type that you flex. So you have those, and then you have these fries, these frites.
Oh, yeah. And the frites are fried twice. Not just once, twice. And then for the sake of absurdity, nothing else, they are smothered in mayonnaise.
That's not absurdity, my friend. That is deliciousness.
Oh, really? Well, if that's not enough for you, guess what? Chocolate.
Chocolate on the fries?
No, just chocolate. That's what comes after.
That's a good idea.
The Belgian chocolate it's considered some of the finest in the world, and you can get it all over the place there. It's I'm sure it's wonderful, but wow.
And that's why I will be headed there right after this podcast. But a little bit more about the chocolate, because it's kind of interesting.
Sure. Because
Belgium and Brussels are well known for their chocolate. They have really strict chocolate making standards. A lot of it is still made by hand. It's not mass produced, which supposedly makes it better, which I can imagine it would.
Mm-hmm.
And how could I forget, while we're on the subject of Brussels, waffles.
Ah, the famous Belgian waffle. Now, in Belgium, interestingly enough, these delectable sweets are not considered a breakfast food like they are in the United States. It's more of a snack food that you'd find from a street vendor.
Is it like ice cream that you would have as your snacky dessert?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it's a little snacky thing that you can get. And you're not going to see that familiar yellow and black sign anywhere in Belgium. The one you see at every exit when you're traveling.
Ah,
You know the one.
I'm guessing that's a very different kind of waffle.
Very different. It's crazy. And one of the biggest things that kind of takes them apart is that the Brussels waffles, the Belgian waffle, also known as the Brussels waffle, it uses yeast to raise the dough rather than baking soda.
Oh, I didn't know that.
A lot of cakes that we create in the United States use baking soda to rise.
Huh. So does that make it a little fluffier, or?
Well, yeah, it's fluffier and it gets really crisp on the outside.
Well, I think we got a little waylaid by food here, Matt. So our lovely viewers and humans, we bid you adieu for now. And we'll see you next time for more cool Belgian stuff.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit howstuffworks.com and let us know what you think. Email travelpodcast@howstuffworks.com. Don't forget to check out our other podcasts, free on iTunes.